I cannot comprehend 50 straight hours, much less 60, 80 hours. To me, that's just insane.
The Tennessee Department of Transportation's message to drivers: don't drive drowsy. But a community watchdog investigation found the state is not following its own advice. Good evening, I'm Jai Smith. Sarah Diamond has the night off. After more than a month of investigating, Nate Morabito found out most of the local snowplow and salt truck drivers on the road during a recent winter storm, that is, remained on the clock for 60, 70, and even 80 hours straight.
Thursday, January 21st, as snow falls, Tennessee declares a state of emergency. Early that morning, records show dozens of TDOT drivers reported to work. Timesheets indicate most of them didn't go home until Sunday afternoon, putting in between 55 and 80 consecutive hours on the job.
I just can't comprehend that.
Records reveal many of those same drivers worked for more than 50 hours straight during a February snow.
I think that's crazy. I think that's insane.
Larry Williams is a retired lieutenant with the Johnson City Police Department's traffic unit.
I just can't imagine somebody being behind the wheel of a big vehicle like that for that long.
The 38-year police veteran, crash reconstruction instructor, and expert witness argues if someone drives tired, it's almost as bad as driving drunk or high.
They just can't see things, recognize them as quickly. The brain can't go through that decision-making process as quickly, so it takes them longer to react to the situation.
In order to make sure the roads are clear for first responders, federal law allows snowplows and salt truck drivers to remain behind the wheel as long as necessary. Researchers say it's routinely a problem.
Just driving for 12 hours itself, that can be very fatiguing. Compound that with the vibration you have in a truck and just the conditions, all the white conditions they see and the noise, all those things added up makes the body want to rest.
Virginia Tech researcher Jeffrey Hickman studied the impact of fatigue on snowplow drivers in 2014. Winter maintenance research organization Clear Roads sponsored the national study. Researchers installed GPS devices and cameras in 4 snowplows and watched during snow emergencies. They ruled fatigue a factor in several safety-critical events.
About 25% of these kind of near misses also had some sort of operator fatigue going on.
A corresponding survey of drivers and supervisors found a high level of awareness about fatigue, but a reluctance by plow drivers to actually take breaks. Can you conclusively say that fatigue is a factor for snowplow drivers?
I think most certainly, given the time on task during winter emergencies, there's no doubt that it becomes a factor.
A few TDOT employees told us as much, all anonymously. One plow driver reported getting just 3 to 4 hours of sleep pulled over on the side of the road during more than 50 hours of work, forced to nap after bouncing off reflectors and rumble strips. Is that safe?
Well, I can't speak to what that plow truck driver was talking about, but if there are any concerns that they have, they need to talk to us.
TDOT maintains its supervisors keep in constant contact with drivers at all times, making them pull over or rest on cots at headquarters whenever they can, especially when they're tired. But the agency concedes in severe weather, due to staffing, naps are few and far between. Some people are going to hear that dozens of plow drivers were on the clock for almost 4 days and be shocked by that and maybe a little bit scared about not only the plow driver safety, but the public safety.
Our snowplow truck drivers are working long hours. We certainly understand that.
Is it safe to say that drivers were fatigued?
Well, I mean, anybody who's working long hours is likely going to be tired, but we don't want them behind the wheel if they're not able to operate in a safe manner. So we try to get them as much rest as we can.
It makes me proud, like a proud dad.
The commissioner himself taped a short thank you after that January snowstorm, praising drivers for keeping the roads clearer than other states.
I know how hard your work is, and that many of you came in on Friday and didn't go home till Sunday and had to sleep on probably uncomfortable cots.
Just weeks later, concerned employees responded, sending this anonymous letter to the commissioner's office, warning someone is going to get killed or seriously hurt driving with so little rest for such a long time. As a result, the agency says it reminded supervisors to monitor workers for fatigue. We raised our first questions with TDOT 4 days later, On Valentine's Day, the agency held a meeting with all snowplow drivers.
On February 14th, just days after we started asking questions, TDOT instituted a new snowplow schedule. A spokesperson said the change had nothing to do with our inquiries, but a major part of the change is to make sure drivers get more rest.
After years of running on another schedule, the agency says it's committed to the new schedule.
This allows us to use our crews more efficiently, and at the same time, it does all we can to get them as much rest as we can.
Spokesperson Mark Nagy says that doesn't mean drivers still won't work long hours, particularly in emergencies. But this new schedule aims to secure drivers 8 hours of sleep when possible. The agency also hopes drivers will feel comfortable giving their bosses a heads up when they need a break.
If anyone is too tired to be behind the wheel and they feel that that is a concern of theirs, they need to tell their supervisors directly.
And you all will be open and receptive to that.
Yes, absolutely.
Nagy says he's not aware of any TDOT plow or salt truck crashes in recent years where fatigue played a factor.
It's going to happen sooner or later.
But this retired traffic officer says it's only a matter of time.
And I wouldn't want to be that poor driver that's involved in it.
While TDOT drivers worked lengthy shifts during recent snowstorms, over in Southwest Virginia, VDOT says not a single one of its drivers worked a 24-hour shift, let alone 60, 70, or 80 hours straight. Back in Tennessee, some TDOT workers now hope they will live by the same rules their agency preaches to other drivers. No more drowsy driving. Nate Morabito, News Channel 11, in your corner.
The Tennessee Highway Patrol identified fatigue as a factor in more than 8,000 crashes in the volunteer state since 2010. That's according to THP records. In 43 of those crashes, people died.